Look at this cat. He is frozen in front of a cracked wall, motionless, paralyzed. His mouth is half open in a smoky, almost otherworldly grimace. To the human eye, it looks bizarre, even funny, but do not fool yourself. At this very second, the predator turns on an analyzer of incredible, almost mystical power. This is the Flehmen response. Right now, the predator is not breathing. He scoops air with his mouth like water. The pheromones left on the wall by a rival do not blow away with the wind. They settle on the concrete, so the cat draws them in through his mouth. Through tiny ducts behind his incisors, this chemical cocktail hits the Jacobson's organ directly, a hidden laboratory in the roof of the mouth. At this moment, two senses merge into one. The cat doesn't just smell, he literally tastes this secret world. A hidden chemical map of the city unfolds before him. It is so detailed that he can clearly discern the age of the stranger who passed here 3 hours ago, their gender, stress level, readiness for battle, and even the exact time when this scent will fade. Modern science confirms that cats are capable of analyzing the decay rate of molecules, just like reading the fresh morning news. Alley cats live in a universe that the human eye is simply unable to comprehend. They see the megalopolis as a labyrinth of invisible perfume barricades. In these concrete jungles, overcrowding is their main enemy. And to survive without shedding blood, they have developed codes of conduct that seem completely paradoxical to us. The law of the concrete jungle. Here, exquisite ritualism is the only way to keep the peace. The strict law of wild nature requires a large predator to have a vast territory, sometimes up to dozens of kilometers. However, urban environments force these creatures to narrow their domains to a few meters. Observations of large urban populations prove that the density of the feline population in megalopolises can reach 2,000 individuals per square kilometer. How do dozens share a single warm manhole cover when they all claim it? The solution they invented is striking in its elegance: a schedule. This ginger cat is the absolute dominant ruler of this yard. Right now, it is his hour. He basks in the sun, confident in his greatness. His rule seems unquestionable. But look at the clock. Exactly at 2 p.m., he gets up and walks away for no apparent reason. These internal biological clocks of cats work flawlessly. A few minutes pass, and the exact same spot, still warm from the previous owner, is taken by a weak, one-eyed gray cat. Before this, he sat in the thick bushes for hours, patiently waiting for his time. Ethologists call this the time-sharing system of space. Cats use the shared benefits of the city, but almost never cross paths physically. It is a shift schedule written in cents on the asphalt. No conflict, pure diplomacy. But what if the rules are broken? What if someone encroaches on someone else's shift? Then, the dominant cat pulls out his main psychological weapon. We are used to domestic cats carefully masking their tracks by burying them in the litter box. On the street, however, this is a sign of fear and submission. Weak individuals indeed hide their scent so as not to anger the leader. Yet, the leader does the exact opposite. He leaves his marks demonstratively exposed on the highest, most visible points of the territory. This is his flag, his manifesto of absolute right. For any trespasser, this chemical billboard is an obvious and grim warning. I am here, I am strong, and I am not going to hide. Spring brings chaos to the colony. Hormones shatter the previously delicate diplomacy. A whole entourage of suitors gathers around a single female. They scream, howl, and strain every muscle during these nightly gladiator concerts. It seems that, by the laws of nature, the female should choose the single strongest winner of the tournament. But the laws of the street are much more pragmatic and far wiser. She will choose them all. Over the course of a few days, the female consistently mates with 5 or 6 different males. The strategy of survival. A rare and amazing mechanism is triggered in her womb: superfecundation. When the kittens are born 2 months later, they will be womb mates, brothers, and sisters, yet from completely different fathers. One from the hefty neighbor cat, another from a scruffy but nimble rogue. Why does nature need such genetic chaos? This is not disorder. This is a genius defense strategy. The biggest threat to infants on the street is adult males. In many predators, infanticide is common to bring the female back into heat. But now, since the female has accepted every candidate, a paternity confusion effect occurs. Every male in the area chemically remembers the union and believes these children might be his own. Instead of becoming killers, the street cats inadvertently turn into a living shield for the colony. However, the process itself is devoid of any tenderness. Look at this moment. The male tightly grips the scruff of the female's neck with his teeth. This is the immobilization reflex. Such pressure on the nerve endings of the neck completely paralyzes her will, protecting the male from a furious counterattack. But the finale is always dramatic. Nature turns the end of the mating ritual into a flash of wild pain. The anatomy of the male conceals a secret evolutionary detail: hundreds of microscopic keratin spines. They become a sudden biological trigger, provoking a shock release of hormones necessary to induce ovulation. Without this sharp stimulus, new life simply will not begin. This is why the mating song always ends with an explosion of fury. As soon as the male lets her go, she swiftly turns around to strike, a flash of self-defense that marks the beginning of a new cycle of life, hidden from our eyes. When the passions subside, the colony returns to its daily rituals of social control, the language of hierarchy and senses. Two cats are lying on a roof. One of them persistently grooms the head and neck of the other with long strokes. To the human eye, this is a picture of idyllic love and care. But look closer. Behind this deceptive tenderness hides the harsh language of hierarchy. What you are seeing now is a picture of unquestionable dominance and absolute submission. The dominant cat holds the subordinate almost by force. His tongue moves harshly, even aggressively. This is a delicate but unyielding act of psychological subjugation. The leader literally washes away the individuality of the other cat. He coats his fur with his own saliva, applying the clan's single collective scent to the areas the other cat cannot reach on his own, the head and neck. This is a forced leveling of the self, a kind of chemical dictatorship. Look at how tense the subordinate cat's body is. His ears are slightly flattened, and the tip of his tail twitches nervously. In a moment, he cannot stand the psychological pressure and breaks into a quick paw strike. This ritual is a constant balancing act on the edge between absolute submission and open rebellion. In addition to social games, a street cat spends a third of his day grooming himself. And here, too, lies a secret. On the hot asphalt of cities, saliva works as an efficient coolant. Evaporating from the fur, it replaces the sweat glands they lack and saves them from heat stroke. But most importantly, it is their internal tranquilizer. The rhythmic movements of their own tongue stimulate nerve endings, causing a powerful release of endorphins. For a street cat, this is the only available way to soothe stress in an aggressive, noisy universe of people and machines. In a city where danger waits around every corner, cats have developed a complex system of visual aggression switches. When two adversaries meet on a narrow path, their eye-to-eye gaze becomes heavy, vigilant, motionless, devoid of the slightest blink. In human language, this is a laser sight before a shot. Whoever blinks or averts their eyes first admits defeat, or a fight begins. But look at the cat on the left. His eyes suddenly squint fully and then softly open. This slow blink is the highest, almost sacred manifestation of feline diplomacy. By narrowing his eyes before an enemy for a fraction of a second, the cat demonstrates absolute vulnerability. For a moment, he goes blind before the deadly claws of the other. With this gesture, he says, "I see you. I know you are dangerous, but I close my eyes because I trust you won't kill me. I am not going to fight." This is a predator's kiss, a smile that instantly lowers the adrenaline level in the opponent's blood and allows them to part ways without wounds. Nearby, another cat passionately rubs his cheeks against a rusty fence or the legs of a person who has just brought him food. We humans like to think this is an expression of sincere gratitude or love, but in reality, this gentle rubbing is an act of property marking. Several zones of specific glands are concentrated on a cat's head. They secrete a special chemical marker, a security pheromone. When a cat rubs his cheek against an object or your jeans, he is literally declaring to the whole world, "This property belongs to me. This human is my possession." In this way, he transforms the foreign, hostile, and terrifying world of the megalopolis into his own controlled and safe space. Twilight slowly envelops the city. The human noise that has pressed on their ears for so long finally quietens down, and our phantoms of the asphalt return to their hiding places, each to his conquered manhole cover, each to his cozy basement, strictly according to the split-second schedule of his night shift. Behind their every strange movement, behind every bizarre grimace or slow blink, stand millennia of ruthless, rational evolution. They did not yield to training. They did not change their wild, predatory nature. They simply filigreed the reinforced concrete architecture of our cities to fit it. As long as human civilization exists, they will live alongside us, the secret strategists, hidden chemists, and true invisible rulers of these concrete jungles.